So one of the main things that I really wanted to do this year was release more music. And when it comes to my new songs, I do like to recreate them within Ableton for a live looping set. And since I'm kind of like in the mode of recreating the song for a live performance, I was kind of thinking to myself, what can I do to kind of reduce the amount of gear that I have to bring with me when it comes to these kind of like elaborate performances? So it got me thinking about one of Ableton's stock plugins, which is Auto Shift. Now, of course, in order to kind of use this plugin in a live setting, I would need to map it to a controller, right? I mean, I could go into it and do the knobs right on the push, but that would be way too time consuming. And also it's just kind of a little, I feel like the appearance of it is probably a little bit sloppy on stage because I'd be really honed in and focused and finding the right pages. Now, my tried and true workhorse is the VT4. She holds me down. I've been using it for a really long time. I've been hoping and praying that maybe by now Roland would have released a VT5 that is very similar to this. I don't know. I really don't think they're going to come out with an updated version of it. Now, I do have the MPK4 in front of me. And of course, if I swap out my vocal processor for another piece of gear, that's not really limiting the amount of gear that I'm having. However, when it comes to the MPK4, you have pads, you have knobs, you have the pitch and mod wheels, you have keys. So it kind of takes other pieces of gear and combine it into this, as well as if I can just also take the vocal effects that I like to do during my performances and just kind of have it controlled by push, I think that would really condense what I would need, because then my setup or my stage setup would only really consist of the Push 3, the MPK4, and a microphone. Now, in the process of my brain going through all of this, one of the main things that I don't want to sacrifice is the quality of the performance. So that's pretty much what leads me into today's video. And if you're new here, my name is Nefertiti. I'm an electronic R&B artist. I really just wanted to compare Auto Shift within Ableton in a live performance setting compared to my tried and true VT4 vocal processor. Now, I did do a demo of both units, which you will hear in just a little bit. I do have Auto Shift loaded into my Push, and I did set up the project first on my computer. Now, one of the intriguing things about Auto Shift is that there is a setting that you can activate that puts it in a live mode that does reduce the latency, which is pretty much what I did in this particular case. I really want to hear what it sounds like live. I personally feel like it just performed perfectly fine. So for me, it was more so about the quality of the vocal processing effects. And as I said, I did set this all up on my computer first. I did all of the mappings to my MPK4 just so that I could see like a good bird's eye view of everything. And I did a lot of testing on the computer first before I transferred everything over to the Push 3. Now, for the sake of this video, because I'm still kind of working, putting this live looping set together, I don't have it fully mapped out yet as far as like how I want to perform it on stage. So for the sake of the demo, you're mostly just only going to hear the chords, and we're going to focus on the vocal processing effects. And one of the main reasons I really love vocal processing effects is because it gives me a chance to take a song that I've already written, that's already out there, and kind of revamp it in a way that gives it new life at every performance. Now, for the sake of this video, I did set up 2 vocal channels on this project. One of them has all of the Auto Shift effects just kind of mapped out on there. And then the other channel doesn't have anything except for a noise gate, and then all of the effects were controlled by the VT4. As I said, I've been releasing more and more music. So the song that I'm using today to kind of demonstrate is one of my main songs that just came out not too long ago. It's called Vacation. If you like what you hear, definitely go into the description. The link is already there. It's streaming everywhere and you can check it out in full for yourself. All right, so before I get started, just kind of a quick note of what I got going on here. And since I set everything up on the computer first, all of the mappings are already done on the MPK4. My goal is to mostly listen out for just general pitch correction to see if there's any like weird anomalies. And then I'm going to cycle through the effects that I tend to use the most. And these are also effects that I'll be able to recreate in the VT4 as well. So that way it's kind of easier to make more of an apples to apples comparison. Just get away, we should take the day, do whatever, have it our way. There's nothing else I'd rather do, see the world, try something new. I don't ever wanna be without you.
Let's just take a flight, we can leave tonight. Everything's feeling so alright. There's nothing else I'd rather see, in the moment feeling free, living life just you and me.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing else I'd rather do. See the world, try something new. I don't ever wanna be without you.
Let's just get away. We should take the day, do whatever, have it our way.
All right, so you'll notice that I have switched out the MPK4 for the VT4, and I switched my vocal channel to an empty track. The only thing I have on here is kind of like a noise gate for this mic, and that's about it. Now, for the reverb, I originally mapped it out on the MPK Mini, but in this case, I'll have to just control the reverb from the push. So that'll be the screen that you'll see from the overhead camera. And then all the other effects, I'll just make do switching back and forth with like my hands for the VT4, but I'm going to try to mimic the performance exactly the same, but sometimes I get in a vibe and it might be slightly different, but I'm going to use the same effects.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's just get away. We should take the day, do whatever, have it our way. There's nothing else I'd rather do. See the world, try something new. I don't ever wanna be without you.
Let's just take a flight. We can leave tonight. Everything's feeling so right. There's nothing else I'd rather see. In the moment, feeling free. Living life, just you and me. Let's just get away. We should take the day, do whatever, have it our way. There's nothing else I'd rather do. See the world, try something new. I don't ever wanna be without you.
Now, as I've already said, the goal for the year is to release more music. And the way that I'm doing that is with today's sponsor, DistroKid. DistroKid is one of the world's leading distributors for independent artists, helping us get all of our music on all of the major streaming platforms. DistroKid also provides free tools to allow us to promote our music before and after releases. Now, the number one tool that you will see me use on pretty much all of my social media is promo cards. Promo cards are vertical assets that you can post to TikTok, you can post to your stories, and it helps you promote your music. My favorite part is that DistroKid has a variety of different promo cards. Now, for my song Vacation, I used their Valentine's Day pack. And for my latest song, I selected a promo card from their springtime pack.
I can't get you off my mind. Slow it down, baby, take your time. Pull up, slide through, don't make me wait.
Now, my new song, See You Tonight, is available also on streaming platforms everywhere. You can also check that out as well. These tools are free for you to use if you're a DistroKid member. And of course, if you're not a DistroKid member, use my link in the description below and get 7% off your first year. So as of the recording of this video, I haven't officially listened back to the recordings of the performances, but I also know what I was hearing in my headphones. And as much as I felt like I did my best with creating effects in Auto Shift that would mimic what I can do with the VT4, I really like the VT4. Damn, I really like the VT4. So I'm coming to you from the future and I'm currently editing this video. Now I did have a chance to listen to both of the demos with a fresh set of ears on a completely different day. And quite frankly, between Auto Shift and the VT4, I think they both performed perfectly fine. Now, of course, when it comes to the Auto Shift, it's going to require a little bit more work if you want more creative effects. And then there's also the added layer of mapping those effects to a MIDI controller. But in terms of performing live or using it live, I think they both performed really well. When I was listening to everything, I didn't hear any distinguishable artifacts that would make me feel like, oh, this performed better than that one. I think they both performed fine. If you don't have access to something like the VT4 and you do have access to Ableton, then you're going to have access to the stock plugin without having to buy anything extra. Now, I did mention in the video that a lot of the Auto Shift settings, I created it on my computer first before I transferred it over to the Push 3. However, if you want a separate video on the effects that I did and how I created them, please let me know in the comments and I can make a separate video on that. Now we're going to hop back into the video. You might hear me repeat a few things, but I really just wanted to make sure that I hopped in here and let you know that I felt like the performance of either or, they were fine. I think they both did well. But of course, you can let me know in the comments. I really like the VT4. Maybe at this point, I'm just biased because I've used it for so long and my ears are so used to it, but I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's holding me down, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I guess I just wanted to just kind of experiment and see, what can I do? Can we reduce the amount of gear that we take with us to shows? It would be nice. It'd be nice to not have to have like a massive setup or just too much gear in general. I really don't want to sacrifice the quality or integrity of my performances. And that's not to say that Auto Shift didn't do its job. It's just, I already have the VT4. It's here. It works. It still sounds good. If you're someone that doesn't have the VT4, maybe you do have Ableton, and the fact that Auto Shift is a stock plugin, you have access to that. So you could also do the same effects as well, right? It's about using the tools that are already in your arsenal. And I think it's also beneficial to know how to use your tools in a various of ways, because what if, God forbid, something happens to the VT4 and I'm just not in a position to buy another piece of gear, right? The economy is a little ass. Economy's a little ass, right? So if I'm not in a position to replace the gear, I already know what to do with what's already available to me. Now, I do have other videos that I've done reviews on different vocal processors. You guys can check them out here. You can check them out on the channel. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.